Hey everyone, it is Anna in the Books here, and today we're going to be doing my January wrap-up. Okay, I know that this video is a little bit late and I'm talking a little bit quietly, but I'll edit it to make me louder because my baby's sleeping. But I really still wanted to do this video and talk about these books that I read in January because every single book that I read in January was a 5-star, and that is just like, it's so good. It's so good, and I'm really excited to talk about these books. So let's just get started. I read 3 books in January, which, you know, this doesn't look like too much, but honestly this is a pretty good number for me and I'm pretty excited about it. So we're just gonna get started with the first book that I finished in January, and that was Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers. So this is my second Becky Chambers. I've read what was her other book? A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I read that last year and I really enjoyed it, but I picked this one up this year and it was so cozy and cute and just like a very nice read. So if you don't know what this book is about, you're following a monk and a robot, which I feel like the monk is nice because right now the monks are doing their walk for peace and I think they're gonna be near me tomorrow, so I'm gonna see if I could get out to see them. But you're following this monk and they kind of like, this is like a futuristic world where 50% of the planet is reserved for the wild. Like, people don't go there at all, they don't touch it, and they just live in their cities while the rest of the world remains untouched. And within the woods, within the natural world, there are these robots that live there, and like they're rumored to live there, and it's because like they became so sentient that they decided that they don't want to work for humans anymore and they just wanted to just go and live out in the wild. And humans now, they kind of just do everything on their own. There's not really a lot of like technology anymore because the machinery, you know, decided for themselves that they don't want to do that anymore. And our monk meets this robot while they are in the on this pilgrimage that they set for themselves, and it's really nice. Like, you just see them talking about their worlds and interacting with each other because this robot, it's the first time that it met a human. And also, like, if you like, our main character, they're non-binary, and it's like an interesting conversation with the robot when they say that, because the robot is like, well, I want to be, well, like, you could just refer to me as it. So that's like the robot's pronouns, because I don't know, like they explain it in here, but that's like a nice touch if you want any non-binary representation. And it was just really, it was a sweet book and I liked it, and I gave it a 5 stars. It's also very short, so I highly recommend to pick this up if you're interested. The second book that I read in January that I also gave a 5 star, definitely my favorite of the 3, and that is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I read Calabasas last year and I gave that 5 stars, and a lot of people were saying that Babel is actually better than Calabasas, so they were right. I was like very like, there's no way, I love Calabasas so much. This is better. This is so good. I wish I could like reread it for the first time again. It kind of gave me a lot of like adult Harry Potter vibes, but like ran from like a better author, you know, better person. But for Babel, you're following this main character. His name is Robin, but you also kind of like get a lot of background on the other characters. And Robin, he is Chinese. He was born in Canton, I think that's what it was called, and his mother and his entire family die of cholera. Also, this is like a historical book, it takes place in the 1800s, And this man comes and he's like, I'm gonna take you to the UK and I'm gonna get you tutors and you're gonna study and then you're gonna eventually, you know, go to Oxford. And in this world, there's a lot of conversation obviously about colonialism and about the empire and about how they exploit who they deem lesser than in all of these other countries for their benefit. And it kind of reminded me a lot of kind of modern day like oil, like how especially America, and how they go to these other countries and they are like, these people, they can't do it themselves, they can't, you know, they need us and we're gonna use it and we're gonna use it for ourselves and to expand our empire. But in this book, that is language. So they use language as a form of like magic. It's kind of like, gives me like alchemy vibes. And they use like silver. And I don't know if it's like actual true silver bars. I think it's true silver bars. They write on it in the language in like another language. And they could use those two words that like have like a similar meaning, but they have to like follow a lot of strict rules. Like you can't just put any two words together to create this like spell or magic or whatever you want to call it. It has to like it's really hard to explain. Like you have to read the book. The book is really smart, but like our Kwong explains it so well, so when you're reading you really understand like what she's trying to say and like how it works. And so you're following Robin when he goes to Oxford, and his class, they're four, 2 boys and 2 girls, and they quickly become inseparable and really dependent on each other, and they see each other every day. They're together for years, and they all have like different backgrounds. So Robin, he's Chinese, and then his the other boy is Rami. He was my favorite character. I loved Rami. He's Indian and he's Muslim and I'm Muslim, so it's like I don't know, and like he actually follows the religion. Like he actually doesn't drink with them. He actually like follows a lot of things, and there's a lot of like Islamic references and like things that he mentions in the book. And I really liked that touch because I feel like a lot of times when an author includes a Muslim character or a Middle Eastern character, they always have them kind of like insinuate that they're oppressed and that they need to like be more like the Western world and that they need to like change themselves. But Rami didn't need to do that, but he was still just like a normal college boy with his friends and like hanging out. And then there are 2 girls. There's, I think her name is Francois. That's like how I like read it in my head all the time. And then Letty. And Letty is white. Francois is she's Creole. She's like she's the one that her language is Creole. Letty I think just does like French and German. And then Rami, oh yeah, also about Rami, his languages were Arabic, Farsi, and Urdu, which was like really funny because I'm Palestinian, I'm Arab, so my second language is Arabic, but my husband is half Afghan, half Pakistani, so his languages are Farsi and Urdu. So I was like, oh my god, it's like what my son is gonna have to learn, because we want him to like learn our languages. So I don't know, I liked that. It was like exact languages that me and my husband share, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, so you're following these students when they're in university, and then there is this underground secret society that are trying to slowly chip away at the empire, and they're trying to like, you know, use it for good to help people. And this book becomes incredibly large. Like the scope of what they're doing ends up like really like affecting like the entire country and affecting the world. And I really I loved this book so much. The ending The ending actually blew my mind, like, not even gonna lie. Like, the ending, I did not see that coming at all. At all. Like, I did not see that coming at all. But I think like some of the things that I've seen people not like about this book, some people said that, I don't know, I feel like I'm like leaning too hard. Some people said that they didn't enjoy, like they thought it was like too smart. But honestly, she really explains everything. And I've also seen people say that they didn't enjoy the pace. They thought it was slow. In the beginning, it is like a lot more like just like their everyday life. They're just going to school. You're like, you follow Robin from when he's a child to going to college, so like it does take a while for the story to build, but I think that it's very necessary for that because of like how large the scope of the plot is. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to read more from R.F. Kuang. The only thing is I'm not really interested in her backlist, like the Poppy War trilogy, because I think it's about dragons and I don't like dragons, and I'm not really interested in Yellowface, but I am excited to read whatever else she puts out in the future. Okay, and the third and final book that I read in January, I know I only read 3, I also gave 5 stars. This was actually a reread, and that was I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This was my in-person book club's February pick. We actually just had our book club meeting yesterday and we got to discuss this book, and I loved that because this is my second time reading it, and I was a little nervous that I don't know why I thought I wouldn't like it as much the second time, because the first time I read it was in 2023, so it's been like a couple years, or 2024, one of the two. And I think it was 2024 I read it, but no, this still holds up. It's still so good. If you don't know what this book is about, you're following, well, we have our main character, she's unnamed, and then there's 40 women total, and they are in this bunker. They don't know what happened to them, and they just never talk. Then there's guards, and the guards are men, but they never speak to them, they never say anything, they're just watching them all day long. The women are not allowed to touch each other, they can't escape, they use the bathroom in front of everyone, they cook together, they all sleep in the same room, like that's it, like, and nothing is explained, they just sit there and live out their days. But then one day an alarm goes off, and all of a sudden the guards just leave. But that the exact moment that the alarm went off, a guard had put the key into their bunker door to give them their food for the day, and at that exact moment the alarm went off and they escaped, so the key's still there. So then they are able to open up their door and get out, but by the time they get out, like the guards are just gone, and they get out and they're just in the middle of this like desert, and they don't know what happened, and they're kind of just surviving. They are surviving out there for decades, and like walking around, roaming, exploring, trying to make sense of their life and what happened. I don't want this might be a spoiler if you've not read it, so maybe skip ahead a little bit, but I'm gonna say one sentence: they never know. They never figure out what happens.